Well, I've been asked to tell my life story. I can really go. I'm supposed to be in detail, but I'm right now getting senile, so I might forget something. But I will try my best to see whatever I could put in there.
Yeah.
I was born in 1940, March 23rd, and I was born in Ulithi on the island of Momo. That's where I was born. So, and then I was raised there on Momo Island, and when I was 4 years old, the 7th Fleet, U.S. 7th Fleet, came and occupied the atoll in preparation for the invasion of Japan and other areas. I was 4 years old at that time, and so I remember that I see these aircraft carriers and destroyers. These ships, though that time I have no idea what their names are, but now I realize what I was seeing over there. These are aircraft carriers, battleships, destroyers, and one thing that really I can't miss is a huge ship was painted all white with a big red cross on the side, and that's a hospital for the fleet. They put it. And the fleet occupied the place. They, since the military, the Navy came over to Ulithi, they want to occupy some of those islands to do their activities and their jobs. So they gather the people from Flalap Island, Azor Island, and Bomo Island, and we all gathered in Fidere Island. They brought us over to Fidere, which is on the western part of the atoll. That's where we were there because the military personnel occupied those islands over there. I remember that when these people came, they used my island of Momo as a recreation area for the fleet, for the people. And thousands of people come each day, to go in and enjoy themselves on my island. So actually, their remnants were still in there for many years. And in fact, there's still some of those things that we show from World War II are still over on the island of my island, Momo. I remember that when I was 4 years old and the Americans came, because Japanese were out from Ulithi Atoll, and the Americans thought there was still some Japanese there. But they came and started shooting around. And we have a cave that they fixed a cave for us there, so we used to run into the cave. And I remember that instead of going to the cave, I ran into one small house with a big coil of ropes. I go in that coil of ropes, and they started looking for me. They couldn't find me. I was in there. But now they found out where I used to run and then go into that coil of ropes. And they know exactly when the plane comes. They know exactly where to look for me, because I just go and spend time there. Anyway, so we all moved to the island of Fidere, and the fleet occupied. Well, we used to go out fishing, get some fish for, and also the Navy people are giving us some food on the island of Fidere. But we go out fishing, but it's a little very uncomfortable, and it's not really healthy fishing because they got oil all over the lagoon. There was American tankers that one of these submarine Japanese subs I don't know, some people say those are one of the suicide subs or whatever they call that. Hit that tanker. And it really scared the devil out of those people in Threat, those Ulithi, because the smoke, there was no wind, and the smoke just covered the whole sky, covered the sun, and when you look up you can see the sun, and we thought this is the end of the world. We face the end of the world. So they've got, it was really terrible experience. The people, when they look at that, and they didn't even know that where the smoke come from. Which later on we find out that a big, huge American tanker was bombed there, and that tanker is still out here in Ulithi on the floor. Some people come in, some tourists come in and dive and look at it in that tank. But anyway, I grew up in Momo. First time I traveled out of Momo Island is when my mother said that we're part Iflukians. You know, we're also originated from Iflu Island. And my mother asked me to go up and see my relatives and those people in Iflu, and my adopted brothers, they're over there in Iflu. So I went with adopted brother. My mother adopted another one. I went with him, and that guy was in Iflu before the war broke out there. So he came with me, and we went out to Iflu. And we stayed in Iflu for about a year or something like that. And then we came back. Before we went out to Ulithi, we have this priest named Father Walter, that he came over and be our priest for the whole outer islands. He's stationed in Momo. He's stationed in Momo, and he started building the first concrete church that ever built in the outer islands. Was the one in Momo that Father Walter did, because he's stationed there. Let me see. I'm sorry, this is before I went with my adopted brother to Iflu. And Father Walter was there. Used to be two priests, Father Louis and Father Bernard, I don't know those that were over in Momo. But Father Walter was a former lieutenant colonel in the army, and he was a chaplain in there, so he was over in Momo. And we have elementary school over there. Our people go out for training, come to Yep and other places, and they came back, and those are our teachers at the elementary school. So I attended elementary school, and the school wasn't really interested me. I wasn't really that interested in school. I learned, in fact, I learned a lot of Japanese language. Those teachers speak more Japanese than English. So they told us, oh, have you learned this in Japanese in the arithmetic, mathematics? It's a lot faster. You know, like the Americans say 3 times 1 equals 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. But you go in Japanese, sangit sang sanirok sasanku sanshijuni sangojugo, and all very fast. So we learned that in elementary school. So that's how I pick up those learning mathematics and using Japanese numbers, name of the numbers, Ichini-san Shigoro Kuzu, and they go. And so, anyway, I wasn't really that much interested in school. I want to go out fishing and all that, so that's exactly what I did. The school time over there, I have a small canoe at the toward the end of the island. One of my aunties was there and there, so in the morning, I took my books, and instead of going to school, I went up to my auntie's house, leave my books over there, get on my canoe, take off, and go out fishing. And then when I know the school is over, I came back, pull up the thing, and I catch sometimes a lot of fish, sometimes a few, and then leave it there with my auntie, and I take my books, and I take off to school. And I told my auntie when they asked, if you give some fish to us down there over there, don't tell them who caught them. Because they'll know that if it's me, they know that. But anyway, about a week, or maybe more than a week, one of my teachers went down and then talked to my parents and said, what happened to Hilary? He's not, what do you mean what happened? For about a week, he never show up to school. He goes every day, take his books, he go over there, and after school he bring his books back. What are you talking about? I said, no, for 1 week he never show up. So they waited for me until I come, and I said, well, where are you all this time over there? Why? I took my books, I go over there to school. No, you got to, but anyway. They found out from my auntie that that's what I've been doing. I go to school. At the same time, Father Walters were working on the church, and then I used to go up there and watch them and ask if I can do something I would like to do. Anyway, I help out, and then finally, Father Walter said, excuse me. Oh, Father Walter knows that I keep skipping these classes and all that. He said, would you like to go to school, but not here? I'm going to send you to Yap. That time we have the school here, it's still here now, St. Mary's School. It's a Catholic mission school. And I said, you send me to work, to Yap, to go to school? Yeah, yes, I'm very interested. He said, you go and ask your parents if they're government. If they say yes, I'll send you over. Oh, I'm sure my parents will say yes. It's because I want to come to Yap, not really. I don't know what the school they're talking about. Anyway, I went down there and I talked to my parents and I told them. Father Walter said he's going to send me to Yap to school. I then asked him, he wants me to ask you if you're okay. And Father Walter was really well respected by these people. They really respect him. He helped the people out not only in their spiritual activities, duties, and beliefs, but he also ordered a lot of things for them from Sales Roebuck company. He ordered those and it comes into there. So he's really helping people out. He's well respected. And so I told them that, and I said, oh, okay, no problem. Tell Father Walter that, yeah, we'll get over it. But that's not what Father Walter was telling me. He asked me he told me to go and ask them. But I went over there and told them that Father Walter wanted to send me, and they agreed. Respect. So I was sent to, yeah, 3 of us. One is Servant and the other one is Mike Marmar and Servant Guyor. 3 of us, we went to, there is no dormitory over there, so we stay in 3 men's house in Keng village. And then we walk up to go to school. One thing really funny is that Mike Marmar is about a year older than me. Me and Servant Guyor were same age. And Father Walter put us in first grade. So, but of course, you know, we attend the school there, we sit among those people. A lot of people look at us and thought, oh, these are teachers in this class. First grade, the first grade was small, and here we are. I'm 14 years old, Servant 14 years old, my one was 15 years old, and we sit in first grade. Anyway, as we go to school, I think about a year, almost a year, both of them took off. They took off from, and I'm beginning to say, oh, I'm learning something, I enjoy this. And I was learning how to speak Yapese. But those two took off, one of them became a sailor and the other one went back to Momo. And I stayed there. It's from the grade from 1 to 9. So that means I'm going to be there for 9 years. You know, each year I go to second grade and all that. In 5 years I complete St. Mary's School. And not because I'm so intelligent and the other, because my age and I can catch up with whatever they have over there, and the nuns know my background and all that. So in 5 years I finished the St. Mary's School. And by the way, sometimes some people thought that I'm kind of, but I happen to be the first from the outer islands who graduate from St. Mary's School, the Catholic mission. First one from the outer islands. And also first one to attend Xavier High School in Chuk and graduated from there. First from the outer islands. Of course, yeah, proper, they have that. And I was the first one to go to college and then finish and then come back. So, you know, this guy's bragging about himself, but that's the truth. That I happen to be a lot of us that went to school, PICS, that's a place in high school, and then some of us go to college. But at that time I graduated from college, and none of us ever, in fact a lot of us took off without graduating from college. They took off going back home. But I finished, I got my bachelor's degree. When I was at Xavier High School, I received a 2-year scholarship from YAP. And one of the first one of the first that got the scholarship from YAP, 2 years. So I was talking to the bishop, and I would like to see if I can go to the seminary and then become a priest. The bishop, no problem. So at that time when I was attending high school, so after that the bishop said no problem, and I said I got a 2-year scholarship. I said go ahead and take 2 years. When you're ready, you just let me know. We'll send you over to the seminary. Anyway, so I was in Guam on scholarship, and I went ahead and finished that 2 years. The thing is I can only get my A degree. But then I was very fortunate. I was awarded a headquarters scholarship from Saipan, transitory scholarship, 2 more years. That's how I was able to finish, to get my bachelor's degree. Actually, I was studying there, I'm interested in education. I took a lot of education courses, and there I took my student teaching in Guam, in one of the elementary schools in Guam. But later on, when I got my bachelor's degree, it's in political science. And then my minor is in secondary education. When I finished all my credit, ready for graduation for my bachelor's degree, I also engaged to my wife, Rosa. Engaged to my wife Rosa, and Rosa is from Guam. Her mother is from Guam, and the father is from the state of Indiana, Captain Dewey Huffer. I think some of you people might have heard of that name. He's quite famous captain. You know, captain on different ships traveling the Tacheliol Pacific Islands. For that time, our setup here is where the trust territory of the Pacific Islands under Hilary Nation. We were there. Our headquarters located in Saipan, and we have, instead of president, because we have no government here, we have a high commissioner appointed by the President of the United States, to head this area, to the Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands, which is still under United Nations. Anyway, when I was engaged to Rosa, and then our graduation was supposed to be in June, but I finished all my credits, my required credits for my degree in January. So I came in January, I came in here, I report education here. Those who are running education are all Americans. The director, American, deputy directors, American, the principals and vice principals in the two high schools here and out there, they're all Americans. And so when I came in, I started teaching they asked me to teach at Ganelai Elementary School. It's on my right from where I'm talking, up the hill. The deputy director of education was the one who's teaching that class, because not enough teachers, and no qualified teacher that will be ready. They're all speaking in English, because these are the children of the contract workers, Americans, and I think some Peace Corps or whoever that brought in their children. So in the class, there are about, about 10 of them, and 3 of them are from Yap proper. 3 of the 10 is from Yap proper, and actually 2 of them, one of them is a pilot now on CIA, one of my former students up here, and his sister. These are the Tretnov, they're half Russians, but they're here in Yap, they're still here in Yap. So I taught there. I took the place of the Deputy Director of Education. I said, thank you very much, I'm going to go back to my work, because I've been holding this class here because nobody else had been. So I said, okay. So he went back to work. Then I taught here until June came, and I talked to them that in June I'm going to go to Guam, and this is what happened. But then I was also asked in June in Guam, they're going to also send me to attend this, they call it English as a second language, see if I could settle that one. And at the same time, that's the time that scheduled for my wedding. So I came out from here. While I was still here, they start the graduation in there. And my fiancée over there, when they call my name, they call in absentia. So my fiancée take care of that for me. When I came in, and to Guam, I already have my certificate for my degree that she's got, and then we went through the wedding ceremony. After we finished the wedding ceremony, I took my wife and we came back here to Yap. We came here to Yap, and I then continued my teaching at the elementary school here, because they already started the high school out there in Outer Island, located in Ulithi. They call it Outer Island High School. So I said, okay, we'll go out, me and, but Rosa still have 2 more years to get her bachelor's degree. But we came in and we were sent out to Ulithi, and I worked there for just about maybe almost a year, and I became Outer Island to become a vice principal instead of an American to the school, to the high school there. Anyway, this I have my boss, who's the principal, named Mike Littler. When we were working together, Mike Littler looked at my background and he said, "You know what? You are more qualified to be in here than me." I was a PE teacher, but a lot of people apply for this position and then later on they pull out from it. So, and I'm very interested to come in here, so I applied for that and I was accepted. So I came in, and I'm very fortunate that you're here and your major is education, and you're really a big help here too. I said, well, okay, so we start going, we teach, and then pretty soon we have somebody from this now states, the states of, Federal States of Micronesia, and they're all called district. District of Saipan, District of Northern Mariana Islands, District of Palau. These are under the trust territories. District of the Marshall Islands, District of Pohnpei, District of Chu, District of Yap. Kusai was under Pohnpei. And then later on, it became a district later on, and pull out from Pohnpei and become a district. So, they sent somebody from the department, from the governor's DSTAT. DSTAT stands for District Administrator, Trust Territory. They sent somebody out from there and came and approached me and said, you know, we know that you major in political science, secondary in education, but we would like to have somebody to represent the DSTAT's office for the Outer Islands. Represent us to take care of Outer Islands. And I said, no problem. So almost every field trip comes, I'm on that boat going out. But then when I came back, after each field trip, I told those, I would call on the radio here in Tuyap, and I said, you know, I cannot do this all the time, taking a field trip out, because the dispensaries, the schools, they're under me, representing these people here. I check them every now and then. I go on the field trip. But anyway, I told them on the radio, can you get somebody else? I cannot do this. You know, go on the field trip representing here because I have my job. They go over here. They came out and I said, okay, you make up your mind which one you're going to keep or which one you're going to take. And I said, whatever, I'll take whatever. Okay, then you take the said rep. And I said, okay, how much you going to pay for me? When they give how much they're going to pay for me, my pay as a vice principal of that high school, it doubles that thing. So I told those people, I'm sorry, this is good. Well, anyway, about a month later, they came out. One from Saipan, came out from headquarters, and they came out there. And they said, okay, your salary will be this. It's a little more than what I have in there. But at the same time, the High Commissioner and the staff, the District Administrator, would like to come in Tuyap and act as a Deputy District Administrator. Oh yeah? So when I talk to my people, especially my parents and all those people, what they are doing, and they say, no, don't you go. Our custom, you cannot go and be boss for those yappies in there, which is, that's our custom. No outer islands will come in and say that you're the boss of it. I said, okay. Yeah, it's good because and these people know that when they told me this is what I'm going to tell them about that. So there was one Yapis, a congressman from Agil, because the Agil municipality is responsible for that one, sent word over to me and said, you come in, we know what you're thinking of, you come in, I agree that you come in, I'll talk to the chiefs of there, you come in and we'll see what will happen. So these are through radio. So I came in and Toon, his name is Petrus Toon, in the Congress. There's 4 of the senators from Yap. So therefore in the Congress. One of them is my cousin from Outer Island. But, and then they have this Toon and Nuan and Mafal. You know, those are representing the Congress in Saipan. Because there is no FSM government at that time under the trust territory. So when they have their meeting, they go to Saipan and have the meeting. Saipan. So I came down and there's an acting deputy. There was a Marshallese, and also at one time I think Luke Tomando was also acting there, but they want somebody to be there as the acting deputy district administrator on that. So I stayed there as acting deputy district administrator. And then I got a call from the district administrator, got a call from the High Commissioner to send me out to face Congress, justify for myself the committee in the Congress. Because the High Commissioner and his staff finished. They want to testify for me. So I still remember when I came over to Saipan, and I went to see the High Commissioner. High Commissioner, good that you come. We finished testifying for you. My staff and I, the Congress call us, we want to testify for you. But they want to talk to you. You ask they ask question, you answer the question from there. And I said, okay, that's fine. I try my best, and the High Commissioner. But one thing I would like to tell you, when they ask a question, you answer the question. You make sure that you answer that question right. Don't add more to it, you know, to show that, oh, you really know the answer for this and talk. Don't. As soon as you answer that question, fine. Don't say anymore. Because the more you talk, the bigger target you're going to present. And when they shoot, they will never miss. And I say, yeah, I think I understand. That's the advice from the High Commissioner. Eh? Yeah, the more you talk, the bigger target you get. But so when they shoot, they never miss. You present a big target there. So I went over there, and that's all. So I finished the committee. And they talked, committee, to congressmen from Saipan and from Palau and Chu. Actually, Andona Bryce from Chu, he was the chairman of the committee. And Senator Toon from Yap, Ratio Moses from Ponape, members of that committee. So they start to ask questions, I answer questions, everything is okay. But then, and Ratio Moses from Ponape and my senator, Toon, were sitting together. Ratio Moses asked a question. Ratio Moses this and this and that. So I answered. I answered the thing. And then no question comes out from the senator from Yap, nothing. And then, so I answered Moses' question. But then they go to the other questions, and then Moses raised his hand again. When he asked this question, I was listening to the question and I said, no, Moses has never been in Yap for that long to understand what the Yap is really got. And then I don't know, I said, that senator over there from Yap is the one giving him these questions to ask me. And I said, I'll try my best and catch them on this one over there. So they said, Moses, the question is this and this. And I said, okay. Before, I'll answer the question, but before I answer the question, there are three parts to that question you just asked. Which one of these three that you would like to know? And Moses said, what are the three? You should know, two knows, because that question has three parts to it. And they make it so general, but if you want to answer that, you answer the three parts in that question. I say, which one of these that you refer to? But anyway, I think that my congressman caught what's going on over there, so he couldn't write something and give it to him, because I was watching them. And Rachel said, oh, wait, that guy, you just go ahead and answer the question and then we'll get back to you again. So I answered the question. There was a question from this senator from the Marshall. I answered that question and all that. And Marshall Islands is just like our outside. No hills, no mountains, they're all flat. They go over the sea. And so we're more get our food from the sea and all that. Anyway, after that we finished, and then I went back. How come I said, how was it? And I said, it was okay. I almost get caught something that, but I find my way out from that one. And I was telling I was laughing and said, oh, you because of it. And I said, well, I learned a lot of things also, so I get. Anyway, I came back, and the district administrator is Leonard Agigi. He's from Guam. He's a U.S. He's from Guam. He's the one that district administrator at that time. I was serving under him. I was his acting deputy district administrator. About a week later, he called me into his office, and he said, Hilary, you come here. Take the two letters. He already opened the letters. And take the two letters, and he threw it in front of me. And I said, what are these? And then he said, what in the world you told those people when you go to testify for yourself? Because that's two letters. And I said, well, I answered questions and all that. One letter from the High Commissioner and one from the chairman of the committee. So he said, what did you tell them there? Read the letters. I took the one from the High Commissioner. I read. The first thing I read was, congratulations, you're the one. The other one from committee, congratulations, you're now a full deputy district administrator. And I put down, when I turned around, he was sitting there, he grabbed me, congratulations. I said, hey, congratulations. I said, yeah, okay. Well, oh, we have a party that night and all that. And so I work, from there as acting deputy district administrator. We go as district, and then finally, trust territory. We have UN visiting mission that comes out and look at that area. And then we go, then finally we will get our constitution. Call for the constitution. All the constitution of Saipan. Constitution for Micronesia. Saipan and all that. He went there. I was one of the drafters of that constitution. I came out from here among those other yappies that we went there. And finally, we finished the Constitution. It comes to referendum. We Palau didn't take it. Marshall Islands didn't take it. But that time when we were still working on the Constitution, the Saipan was working on one with the covenant for the Commonwealth. They were working on that one. So certainly they are not going for the Constitution because they tried to work on their Commonwealth, the covenant for Commonwealth. Yeah, that's what they go through. Then we finished Constitution. So anyway, well, we have to select this time. It's going to be governor and lieutenant governor instead of Distat and deputy Distat. This time. So we have our Constitution in place. Here comes the election. And I was serving as a deputy, and then the Congressman, John Waffle. John Waffle came over and asked me, since your experience in this position there as deputy, would you like to be my running mate? We ran for the... Yeah, I said, okay, I'll run running mate. Well, we won the election. And it just happened that we were the first governor and lieutenant governor of Yap, the Constitution, First. He was the first governor and I was the first lieutenant governor at that time. Well, anyway, we worked, and then afterwards, he served, the governor served only 2 terms, and 2 terms, that's 8 years. 1 term is 4 years, the other term 4 years. It comes to we run again, we won, but then governor comes up to 4 years, the 2nd term, and he cannot run. So he said, okay, go on. And then Senator Toon, the one that helped me out to come over here and also talking to Rachel, asked me, would you like to, because I can run again, not only the governor, would you like to be my lieutenant governor? And I say, I already talked to the governor and the people that both of us will be out. But I'll look for a lieutenant governor for you. You're running. Okay? I said, I'll look for somebody. Anyway, I know that person. That person is one of my former students at the Outer Island High School, and also one of my nephews. I mean, according to the line relationship and all that, will be my great nephews. And so I went and talked to him. He was in education. He was in Saipan at that time. He comes down here. And I say, Tony, would you like to run in my place? Run as a lieutenant governor with Toon? He said, oh, no. You know our custom. You know that. And I say, look, I know our custom and I survived when I came through. And he said, yeah, because you're from Momo. So you got, Momo is representing Asbar for the whole Outer Islands. Yeah, so then I said, no. Nowadays, we go for somebody who can do the job. We're not going to get somebody who doesn't know anything because he's from Momo. And we put, because at that time, our constitution says that if somebody is going to be a governor, the lieutenant governor must from here proper, lieutenant governor must be from Outer Islands. If Outer Islands is the governor, lieutenant governor must be from here proper. That's how it is. So I said, no, well, Toon really wants you to run for them, and I talk. Yeah, so he didn't say anything. He said, I'll think about it, but most likely no. So he went back to Saipan And then because he was, now this time he was sent to Pohnpei, to station in education, for education. So I went up, and then I talked to him, have you made up your mind? Because we still have a long way to go to run for the, and he said, no, I still know, but so I sat down. I was in Pohnpei on a board of directors for one of the banks, the development bank. So I went over there and I talked to him, and he said, well, and I said, look, let's sit down and then I'm going to, I talk and you think about it. He said, I know you can make it. You were my former student, and one of the best students that I ever had. And yeah, but you know, our custom, and forget about the custom. This is the custom that I also would like everybody got a help from there. And then if you run for this one, that's the same guy who helped me to come in as acting deputy district administrator. Now we want to run for him and so on. Oh, okay, I'll think about it. And say, I'm leaving there after tomorrow. You give me your answer, and then I'll. So I waited and waited until I went and checked in that time. And it's okay, he's probably won't call it anymore. And then he showed up. He came in. I said, oh, now what? He said, you know, for the past day or two to the night, I didn't eat well, and I couldn't sleep that well because I was thinking about this. So now you make up your mind you're not going to do it. And he said, I'm going to try. And I said, thank you. That's all I would like to hear. He said, and God bless you. I said, yeah, I'm going to. And I said, don't worry, I pray for you. Up on the plane, I came down. I said, don't. You have a lieutenant governor that's going to run for you. They run, they won't. Yeah, and then he was the second lieutenant governor. He follows me over there. This other came, but he was my former student relatives. He got into this one. Well, anyway, we have he ran as a lieutenant governor. But before he came as lieutenant governor, under our constitution, we formed the Council of Pirum and the Council of Tamil. That's over there. So anyway, it's a long story, but I served in the Council of Tamil at that time. Nobody else had come over here. And Chief Hati was the chairman. It's my father, the chairman of that. But then when I served in there, because he could, each island will give one chief. But he could be chairman and also Momo. He could do that. And he said, no, I don't want to do that. And the reason why he tells some people is that a lot of programs and projects and all that they get for Momo, they think because he's the chairman and from Momo, they said, I don't want to have a part of chairman for the whole outer island. We get somebody from Momo to come out and represent Momo for their programs and requests and everything like that. Nobody was ready, so they picked me. They picked me to, but it says whoever comes out from Momo will come from the clans, high clans, from the chieftain clan, that two clans in running Momo. Anyway, I served under that until later on. Another chairman came in and said that we don't want those people who work for the government to serve on the council over there. So I was out, but I got my brother came in, and then there was somebody that is older than us. That person wasn't ready. He was over in Sarawak to come in. So my adopted brother act until this one my cousin. He came down from Seoul and then he goes in. But anyway, he passed away. And we got this acting, but I was still the government. I finally retired from the government. When I retired from the government, now I can sit in the council. So I was selected to sit in the council as the representative from Momo, chief of Momo, in the council. So up until today, I'm still with the council. But anyway, during those years, my wife was able to go to, and finally she got her bachelor's degree. During the summer and all that, we go to Guam and then got her bachelor's degree. So while we were here, my wife also volunteered to teach at St. Mary's, where I graduated from. No payment, but she volunteered to do that. And the priest and those nuns are very thankful for her because she's got her degree in that. Anyway, and then we're here, and then as time goes, before I got out from the government, I was still in the governor's office as the assistant for administration for Outer Island Affairs. Yeah, that's what I got. Anyway, so later on, she got her degree, my wife got her degree, and we were here, and I retired from the government, and she was still, and she said, hey, you know, honey, I would like to go on and see if I can work on my master. And I said, no problem. Where? The University of Hawaii. And I said, no problem, I support you. She did. She took off. And then actually she finished before the required time to finish. I don't know how they make that, but for so many years. I think only 2 years, and then she finished, she came back. And we hold then we didn't do anything until she came back. She was not able to attend the graduation, so her certificate was airmail into this one. And he told me my certificate will be airmailed in. He came in. There was nobody to thank her and congratulate her for that. We hold off until I received that. And I didn't tell her that I received that from the post office. So I put it. And then I talked to my brothers and all relatives, and let's organize a party, big party. They serve this, they call lechon, the whole pig that they turn on the fire, and there's one they brought it over here, plus all kinds of stuff. Many people came. We told them, you come up there, and we told them that we want to welcome Rosa back, and we want to congratulate her for getting this, her master's degree and all that. So we all gather here, where I'm speaking, right here over there. All the food there, a lot of people around here. And then Ramon, my brother, who's now the chairman of the Council of Tamon. He was a master of ceremony. Came up and he thanked people why we're there, that we have to congratulate Rosa, welcome Rosa for her. She got her master's degree and all. After she talked and then turned over to me. Do you have something to say, the husband? And I said, just a few words I want to say over there. So I came up and I said, this is the real thing over here. I'm gonna, she missed the graduation over there. And I'm gonna call my wife to come up, and then I will give her a certificate. My wife looked at me, she that's why I wait till they come up. And she came up. I said, okay, your certificate. Congratulations, you received your certificate. And we looked at each other, he said, no, wow, I don't know. And those people said, you mean, yeah, well, I just showed the certificate. We already congratulated her because it's coming and all that. All right. And Ramon said, that's it. And I said, last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to sit down. The paper she got over there is represent her master's degree. But don't forget, I am the master, the talking master. Those people, that's a piece of paper. I am a human, I am the real master. Don't forget about that piece of paper and say master. The people are laughing, you always come up with something kind of too funny. Well, anyway, so I'm with the council of Tamon up until today. The last time they wanted me to run, to go as not run because it's selected, agreed by the traditional council members that the chairman will come from Momo, decided by the two clans, the highest clans, and become that. So when the chairman wasn't able to make it, they said, oh, you go in. And I said, no. I got my retirement. I want to enjoy my retirement. And there's a lot of other things that I would like to mention here. That anyway, we went over to Momo. The people in Momo, the families, over in the clans, they said, hey, you understand? No. So somebody explained to them what I explained to the group here. I said, fine. So comes out the two choice, either my brother-in-law or my brother. They come from those families and so on. But my brother-in-law refuses. He's been saying he knows that he's one of the person that was, but he was in Hawaii that time. He was telling my sister, I'm not going to go through this thing over there. So my younger brother was telling us, well, I guess you have no choice. But he's now the chairman of the council. He did all kinds of, some kind of funny things, but he was just joking in Congress. There are a lot of things that he used to tell people in Congress. He's brilliant. I really like him. In fact, Waffle was one of my promised brothers. He's my promised brother. Not only that because I serve under him instead, but we were promised brothers. But he's quite a character, that Waffle. In Congress, he used the Lord's Prayer. You know the Lord's Prayer? I don't know what religion you're in, but the Lord's Prayer is, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. He made one for the United States, and people were laughing. Our Father who art in Washington, hallowed be thy budget, thy deficit comes, and all kinds of things that he would. But he's quite a character. I like him. He's quite a character. There's when we were in office, I came out one time. I came out from he came out from the restroom, and there's some Japanese, and the Japanese, or they wear ties and all that. And they excuse me, and the way he dresses, he doesn't he just very CV's outfit and all that. He's quite a character. I like his style. So those Japanese people, can you show us where the governor's office is? And I say, you come. So that's the door, go right in. So they went in, and we have our secretary named Flora, is still around here. And they come in and you see the governor. Oh, the governor is out there. I didn't go in and wait for him in there. So they went there and said, there's three of them in ties and all that and said over there. And then here comes in short pants and CB's outfit. He opens the door and those then Flora, those people are in there. I have to wait for you. Thank you. He opens the door and anybody else coming? Those people look at him. No, no, it's only us. Say thank you. So we went around and sat behind the steps. Those people were looking at him. And he said, I'm Governor Mathau. Nice to meet you people. Yes, nice meeting you. They couldn't figure out, he fools a lot of people. I like his style. It's really, don't take things seriously all the time or you're going to have a heart attack. That's what he said. You got to